Hey everyone, King Size Customs here, driving a truck. This is a Peterbilt 351. We're in a new state, we're in Oregon. So, I'm gonna actually be quiet here and let the song go, but before I do, you'll see there's an accident. I'm still getting used to this big truck and I'll talk about that. So far so good, right? Oh, just wait, it's coming. But one of the things with this truck is driving it at night is a pain. I really can't see too well. And there we go. Yeah, that was a pretty bad one. Of course, the other video I had recorded for today was really bad. I kept crashing into everything, and I really think it's just the visibility of the cab. And see, I touched the Jeep here with the trailer, but I'm trying to do my best. If you notice, the mirrors are just regular mirrors. They're not really like truck mirrors. You go through a red light, there's a truck approaching. So it's all kinds of fun. But I do a little bit better. It's trying to get used to the truck. And then also, you notice I have the high beams on here. I'm trying to just get used to the truck. If you looked at the front real good, you would see that it's just two single round headlights, and that doesn't really work for me. So I might go back to a newer truck. I might trade this in on a Mack Anthem. I don't know. By the time this is out, you guys, I'll be recording another video, so I might go trade this in, really. Not a huge fan of this truck, but like, I like its styling, I like how it looks, but drivability, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, look how low the windshield is. Look how much of the nose sticks out from the cab. I mean, it's a truck from the 50s, really. It's an old school truck. It's more of an art piece than it is a driving tool. So, other things I don't like. In the last video, our exiting out of the store theme got not a content strike, but just a fair warning. So I'm trying to keep it, I'm trying to avoid content strikes. I'm not monetized anymore because I don't have 1,000 subscribers and I don't have that many hours of watch time that we need. But it really, it's what it is, really. I didn't make any money off of YouTube when I was monetized. My goal was really just to get more exposure, and these videos, every once in a while I see a comment from somebody who's new to the channel, and I just like exposing what I'm doing. I feel that what I do is pretty unique. I know a lot of you guys who follow me for the car stuff. Some of you guys have migrated over and started watching these videos. I try to stick to a routine schedule, which I'm actually recording this a day before it goes out, so oh man. I'm trying to do daily videos, but sometimes that gets in the way. Sometimes life gets in the way, and that doesn't get accomplished. So, but what I'm doing now is I'm actually going to start using copyright-free music. So the theme to this the entrance, the leaving the store song was copyright free, and the ending song is copyright free. The only problem I have with copyright free songs is it's stuff that nobody's really heard unless you watch a lot of YouTube and you see a lot of different people's content. I mean, I could just I don't want to run the risk of taking copyrighted songs using the instrumentals, which I was doing before, but if they're going to hit you with a claim, not a strike but a claim, so it doesn't really do anything to your channel. It's just revenue from what you would be making in this case would go to the copyright owners, and that's fair. But I don't want to run into the potential of having my channel take it down, because I've had this channel for going on 6 years. And I'm not a huge popular channel, but it's a way for me to express myself. I've kind of built a little bit of a life around YouTube, really. I mean, you guys who've been with the channel for I don't know, 5 of those 6 years know that things have changed, and my life has its highs and lows, its valleys and its peaks. But anyway, so that's why you're hearing a different style of music. I'll try to get more like copyright-free rock and heavy metal, because that's what a lot of you guys are into. I'm into that too, to an extent, but I love all music. I mean, country music, I listen to some classical, I listen to some classic rock, classic pop, classic country, classic hip-hop, a lot of hip-hop. I'm starting to get into some of the new stuff, but it's just not what it used to be. And I mean, that's a discussion for another day. There's a different type of lyricism that I find today, and it seems like anymore you don't need to be that skilled, which I benefited from that. I was kind of like popular in my high school for rapping, so which again, it was fun for me. It was just another outlet. I kind of did it more on the comical side, so. But other than that, and as we grow, our musical tastes change. So, one quick thing about this truck too, which really probably, if you guys know me, it's not going to be a quick thing, but you notice how there's really no light or system to tell you which turn signal is on, or if you have your 4-way hazards on. Yeah, that's another thing I don't like about the truck. You got to look at the turn stalk for it, and that would be on the left in this vehicle. There are a couple of things about this truck that I don't know. I mean, I don't like. I mean, look how dark it is outside here, and you see how it kind of lights up the road, but it doesn't do a lot for you. But I don't know, practice makes perfect. Also, this truck doesn't have an inboard GPS option, so I have to really use the game's route advisor here. So it's another thing. I mean, I had trucks like that where you had to use the route advisor. Again, if you remember the original videos, you remember Golden Hawk, which was like the second truck I bought in here. You remember I had to use that route advisor, which I like. Don't get me wrong; it has a digital speedometer, which in this truck the speedometer is a little weird. Your RPM gauge is on the right, your speedometer is on the left. I'm not sure if you guys can see that too well. I can. I have to really focus, but that's also if I try driving a real car, I have to really focus on the speedometer if I'm trying to check my speed. But I've also been doing some driving in Assetto Corsa. You guys have seen a couple of videos. I've got some new tracks that I think you guys will really like. I've got some new cars that I think you guys will like too. I got a Dodge Super B, which is one of my favorite muscle cars. So, I tried to put in a Dodge Monaco, but for some reason that's not working. I also got a newer Pontiac, like a 2003 Pontiac Trans Am, and it doesn't make any noise. So that's okay. I'm a fan of the car a little bit, but not the biggest fan. I mean, there's guys who go crazy for the older Pontiac Trans Ams, the older Firebirds, a lot of old Pontiac stuff. Pontiac's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a lot of Pontiacs. I like the GTO. Well, actually, it's not even the GTO. It's the GTO Judge, but it's about the only Pontiac I like, really. I don't know. I guess when it comes to muscle cars, I'm more a fan of like Mopar and Chevy. Ford has some good cars, mostly the Mustang. Another thing was I did own a Ford semi-truck in here, but the mod stopped working, and the sounds for that truck weren't that great either. Like, I would back up and it would just make a car alarm sound. Oh, we're grinding a little bit here with the gears. There we go. Another thing is driving the semis kind of messed me up trying to drive a regular car in like a race car game. I throw the steering wheel too much, I hit the gas too hard, I go too fast. So I've been getting a little bit of coaching from my brother who has his license, had his license for a while now. So, and he just said, you know, little corrections, just ease on the gas, don't force the gas down to the floor, just apply. So, and then try to manage your turns, do little corrections. And I'm sure you guys will see in this video, if we haven't seen it already, there are a few issues I have driving the semis where it'll like veer off to the lane, veer off, and I'm trying to make, what I'm going to do now in future videos is be a little bit more cautious of that, conscientious of that, and make little corrections. So, but the other thing was, in Assetto Corsa, I'm taking turns at like 40 miles per hour, and that's no good. I mean, you're going to fly. I did get the speedometer changed to miles per hour instead of kilometers per hour, because that would throw me for a loop. You guys have seen that I go on that Japanese expressway. I got another one that's like just rural, I want to say kind of rural Japan. They call it's a Project something, I forget the name exactly, but it's not in the USA. It's really pretty. I was driving that track all last night, just different cars. I used one of the original Fiats, which I was only really getting up to about 50 miles per hour, and I was only really using third and second gear for that, which I'm not a huge fan of just sticking in one gear, especially if you have a manual transmission. It's fun to shift through most of the gears. I mean, it had a fourth and fifth gear that I know of. Might have had a sixth, I'm not too sure, but... And the other thing was, the way that those cars are built, they're built more for economy. So I would be driving and the car would just start shaking really bad, and it would shake my steering wheel. So I drove a late 80s, early 90s Mazda RX-7, the FC instead of the FD. So, and that I had a lot of fun with. The other thing is now I also have it showing tire wear, damage to the cars. If the car had ABS braking and traction control from the factory, it'll do that. Because that was another thing. I would be driving on the expressway in a Toyota AE86 Corolla, the Torino. So that was the one with the pop headlights. Problem with that was traction control would kick on, and I'm going up a hill, and I would only be going like maybe 2 or 3 kilometers per hour trying to get up this hill and turn. So I turned traction control off. I haven't tried driving with traction control off on that car in the same spot again, but I have a feeling I'll do a little bit better. The other thing is, again, the steering. You know, different cars have different turning radius. or radiuses. Yeah, see, there we go. I'm not really doing little corrections. I'm doing massive corrections here. But, we all know I probably shouldn't be driving, so this isn't a video game if any of you guys are watching. That's why you can't really see what I'm doing, where my hands are, and all that. I also liked doing my last Assetto Corsa video with having my webcam set up so you could see my hands, you could see me shifting. I plan on doing a few more videos like that, and I might get back into it with American Truck here. The problem is my webcam's a few years old and it wasn't the greatest of quality when it was new, so things freeze. You can't really capture how fast I'm moving my hands. It's very, very blurry. So, who knows? Maybe around the holidays I might get a little bit extra cash and start, putting some more money into this little YouTube hobby for a little bit better quality. But really, this was just something to fill up some time, so you guys had some content to watch from me. Because I myself, watching YouTube, I don't like when you get a creator who will take, like, I don't know, 3 weeks to 6 months off, even years, without a word. But that's just me personally. Don't take any offense to that, anybody who watches this, because I do understand life can come and, come up from you from behind and just knock you down and take away all your time. But yeah, you guys will also see a lot more game videos because of it's getting cooler here. I don't really like to go outside. I mean, we fell right into fall. It was like a change from one day to another where it was like, oh, your high will be 75 degrees with a low of about 68, to where, oh, your high will be about 55 and your low is a nice 43 degrees. Time to break out the jacket. It was like a Monday to a Tuesday switch, so I was all confused. Again, you guys know I really don't like the colder weather. It just really hurts my arms and legs. So, but you do what you do. You do what you have to. I mean, I live in the mid-Atlantic. I live in Delaware, so cold is something you're not going to be able to avoid in the cold months. But it's not like Canada or the Great White North. Well, Canada is the Great White North, but it's not like Canada where, oh yeah, you get about 5 months that are super, super cold, and then the other remaining months, the other 4, you get a couple of months of spring, and then about 1 to 2 months of summer. So, I don't know though. I mean, don't get me wrong, Canada's beautiful. Not that I've been there, but I'm planning to go there. Hint, hint. Kind of want to take a summer vacation there, but first I need to get a job and save up some money so that I can afford airfare and a hotel and all that fun stuff. But, oh, trust me, I'll get there. I'll get there one of these years. I'd also like to go to the LA Hot Wheels convention or Nationals, but the problem with those is, for me, it's like super expensive. I went to a convention in Harrisburg, and it wasn't as expensive, but it wasn't something you could really do on a budget. I mean, these trips are like something that the average person has to, I don't know, save up a year and plan on going. I mean, if it's like you and 3 people, it's really, really difficult to do. So, well, alright guys, we're at our stop. So, I'm going to play some exit music here as we pull into our stop. So, later.